classroom curriculums. So, Dr. Neeraj, sir, we have some students who have joined. We want to ask you, that is, what made you to join to this course?
Yeah, well, firstly, Dr. Sagar, thank you for inviting me to talk to students. I always love to go back to my college days. I don't miss a chance going to my university also and delivering lectures, but this time it's a bit different. Uh, so I was working with a corporate till 2020.
Right.
Uh, and I don't feel shame in sharing that because of COVID and all circumstances, my position became redundant.
Got it.
So I lost my job. I was overeducated. I was overqualified, overaged. So I had nothing but to start my own venture. So I call myself as a forced entrepreneur basically. I was not intentionally planning to start my own venture, but somehow things started moving in the same direction.
Right.
And my venture is active and rolling since last 4 years, and it's doing well. So we are a life sciences and publishing consulting company. So we are registered vendors of pharma companies, and we offer them solutions. I wish I could have come across this course 4 years back when I started my own venture, because I was a lost man. Uh, I was completely reliable on my chartered accountant. I had no idea about business, what entity I should form, what should I do, what technical documents are required. But I consider the existing batch listening to this lecture very lucky that they've come to join this course just like I did. So over the years, I practically experienced the formation of the company, struggling with the registration of as a vendor in pharma companies, getting GST, getting DIN number, and so on and so forth, which the students would obviously be learning in this whole course. But I was still looking for a very structured course, which could probably take me through the journey from idea conceptualization to formation of the company, to getting the government documents done, to get and try for funding, and many other things which are covered in this course in a very exhaustive and in a very structured way. So that prompted me to join this course, and along with this course I did a couple of more courses, and I would say that Swayam is doing a great job. And I can vouch for this, that these kind of courses, people pay thousands of rupees and even dollars in getting the knowledge, whereas here in Swayam is doing a great job, and you have made a very structured course which can take the budding entrepreneurs and the students and the researchers through this journey in a very structured way.
True. This is what is just very nice. That is, you said that one line, that is what one word. That is his. This course is for the students who are being passionate about or having the aptitude of knowledge. They want to have more knowledge. And what happens? There are there are universities. The offline courses are very high, and even there are courses which is maybe the courses which is they are not able to avail that. The fees are very high, and that is what even the online courses are very high. If you want to go for any other courses in Harvard or in any other universities, Cambridge, or on the any other of online platforms, you will find the courses are very high. This is $1,000 or USD dollars or something. Now, what we wanted to do, that I'm very thankful to the Ministry of Government of India, that taking a platform where we can make it a free courses for the students, and we are just charging only 1,000 rupees for the registration fee for the exams, and that is equivalent to the certification course, and it is also the certification course is equivalent to the academic bank credit also. So there is not this is not a challenge for them. But the most important thing you tell me, one Neeraj sir, is which was what which course contained, or which week of your this course which you like the most?
Uh, well, if I just refer to this short notes which I made during the course. So these are going to stay with me for lifelong.
True.
So I can go back to them and refer to them because that's the way I learn things. So the course was absolutely taking you through the journey throughout those 8 weeks, in which I think the first week was explaining the difference between entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship, then classification of different businesses, and then taking the students through the entrepreneurial development programs which are run by Government of India, then taking them through the different steps they have to follow to form the entity and legal issues during the entrepreneurship, GST, and then startup funding. For me, uh, I had already gone through, I think, the topics covered in first 7 weeks. So the startup funding, which was the last chapter, was most interesting to me because I never intentionally thought of diluting, the equity in my company, getting some loans, going to some angel investors. But after the course, I have proactively started looking for, uh, friends and family who can support me with some funding, looking for angel investors. And then one of your chapters also covered the entities or persons I should go to seek funding at which point of my
Yes.
entrepreneurial journey basically. So I
True.
think for me the last chapter was most interesting, and I'm religiously following the learnings from the chapter and making some database because who knows, I could be looking for some bigger expansion and diluting my equity in the coming future.
Right. Right. uh, Another thing which is very important, that is how, look, miss, we have some students also here and some of the working professionals also. We did not have a very good crowd today, but still with the numbers we have, because it's an online course, we can't force them to drive into this, but still we have tried to connect with them because our Swayam portal is down today, so that is the reason we could not send the mass mail. But still, for through the different channels we have tried to connect through some of the participants. Now the question, sir, is another thing is, Dr. Neeraj sir, how knowledge is something which does not talks about the age, what it talks about.
So for me, for the audience, I am B.Pharm, M.Pharm, PhD, and then PGDM in marketing and international business. So I have been learning throughout my life, and I always love to learn new things, grab new things, whenever possible. For me, Dr. Saikat, knowledge is something which is the only thing which you carry along when you leave this world. So you
True.
cannot carry money, you cannot carry relationships. This thing cannot be donated to somebody. This thing cannot be exchanged with somebody. This thing basically increases with time, and one
Right.
should be always looking for these kind of small bit size courses and all to upgrade themselves, to upskill themselves. Sometimes during life you have to learn and then unlearn and then relearn also.
True.
So I think these kind of courses are pretty much good for not only the young students but entrepreneurs like me.
True. uh, Another question which strikes me in my mind, that is, when uh, what was your initial dream of starting your whether you wanted to get into the corporate, or whether you wanted to become, initially you wanted to become an entrepreneur, or whether you wanted to become an entrepreneur. So what
Well,
was that initially when you passed out from your college and you wanted to get onto that?
yeah. Unfortunately, I passed out. I did my graduation in 1998. That time, India was not having this vibrant, startup kind of an ecosystem.
Got
So
it.
we were not that fortunate enough. So we all were sailing in the same boat, following the students in our class. So I went on and got the UGC's Junior Research Fellowship and then CSR Senior Research Fellowship. So we were all engaged in doing PhD, MPharm and all. In
Right.
fact, I enrolled for MBA during my MPharm but I left the MBA thinking that I would become a scientist, after doing MPharm and PhD and all. But it would be very strange for the audience that after doing my PhD and completing it after 5.5 years, I landed up in a hardcore sales job.
Okay,
Because of my expertise in life sciences, I was doing market research and then sales. And then afterwards, I took a decision to do the MBA again.
got it.
So that's how the journey, took me to different places. So I worked with a global publisher afterwards for more than a decade, scaled up their business. That entrepreneurial mindset was already there. But in the case of the corporates, it's entrepreneurship, as you told in the very first lecture in the first week. The companies were encouraging us, paying us incentives, paying us bonus for the innovation which we were doing for the companies only. But I
Right.
never thought of venturing into something on my own. But later on, my wife is also PhD. I fell into these kind of circumstances, and then we thought, we can probably start this business, and we have the subject matter expertise, so things would be easy. It had been a mixed experience in these 4 or 5 years. I won't say it's a cakewalk, but it's certainly a very painful journey. But once you scale up the business and learn the nitty-gritties of the business, then things become easy.
That's true. No, that is very important to understand. That is, it does not, because even you want to gain an experience and then you start your own entrepreneurship, you become an entrepreneur, then you become an entrepreneur. That journey is also equally good. And there are some of the children who have been having a family business. It becomes easy for them to take forward that into an entrepreneurial journey rather than entrepreneur journey within a corporate. My next question goes up is, ki, uh, what is the basic aspects of entrepreneurial skills when you started this venture at the late age? Now, what was the first thing came? What was the hurdle you faced, and what was that? How did you overcome that hurdle?
Well, the very first thing which helped me was obviously the experience which I got from the corporate. So I already had those relationships within the industry. I already had the basic sense of the business. Uh, Only thing was I was focusing on a particular role which was given to me within the organization, which was sales and
Right.
marketing. I was not aware about finance. I was not aware about how the production is happening. What is logistics all about? Therein, we were being held by some common teams within the company. But once you become an entrepreneur, everything in the initial stages you have to look on your own basically. So
Got
the
it.
real challenges for me when I started this journey was what kind of entity should I form? How much money should I invest in the beginning? How much return would I get? So I had a fair idea about the overall business which is happening in this area in India. I had done the basic market research in my corporate only. Uh, the real challenge was to find a trusted chartered accountant or a financial advisor who could handhold me and take me through the nitty-gritties, the differences between different form of companies. So whether it's in one person company or an LLP or a private limited company. And I'm lucky that my chartered accountant was a friend of my dad. So he guided me to form a private limited company, although the regulations, the government paperwork and all is maximum in the case of private limited companies. But he said the people who are doing business with you will have confidence that you are registered with Ministry of Corporate Affairs as a private limited company. So the chances of getting business, the chances of getting funding would be more easier. So for me, the
Got
first challenge was to find out which company should I form. And along with this company, I had also gained flavor of doing a standalone consulting role also. I also run a small proprietorship company called Publishing and Healthcare Consulting. So I am having the knowledge of both proprietorship and private limited company, and both are extremes to be very frank.
fine. So thank you, Neeraj sir. Now I want to give it to the platform to you to have an interaction with the and to share some experiences about that. about your journey, entrepreneurial journey. And most important thing is you might have visited some of the countries, you might have visited some of the approval government approval systems to understand how the taxation systems happens, how this. Now you just relate to the participants that forming a business, initially a homework, a blueprint has to be prepared. And the last, if you just conclude them, that is how they're going to register for the exams or the Swayam exams, and what are the things they need to be prepared. So that's this, you can finish it within 20 minutes or you take it damn yeah. And then we will love to have that view from you for your journey. You just put up the entrepreneur journey of how many days you have, right? How many days of the entrepreneur journey you had, and how did you overcome that, how do you have taken the process, and talk about how you have developed your clients, and how you have been venturing into generating the revenues out of that. And then you can finish it out to the participants saying what, how they want to take care of their exams, so that they does not lose that certifications, they are not out of the race of the certifications. Now it is all your platform, Dr. Neeraj sir.
So yeah, I mean, I'll quickly tell you the real practical experiences I had running these two ventures. One is a private limited company and one is proprietorship. Uh, for private limited company, there are lots of government regulations. You have to get your company registered with Ministry of Corporate Affairs. And for the audience, you need to have minimum two directors in the company with director in identification numbers and the digital sign certificate. So DIN and DSC are the two most important things which you have to procure. Then the company formation starts with Ministry of Corporate Affairs, in which you have to do MOA and AOA to be registered with Ministry of Corporate Affairs. You have to get your taxation number. You have to register for the Provident Fund. You have to get your goods and service tax taxation number. So these are then certificate of incorporation. So these are a couple of government documents. And if I may be able to share, the screen, you will be probably have a fair idea. So this is my DIN number. This is how it look like. You have to get the PAN number of the company. You have to get the taxation number of the company through Government of India. So I've also registered my company with MSME, micro, small, and medium enterprise. The reason is you get a lot of funding and support from government. There are lots of initiatives. You uh, learn from this course through which you can get tax rebate, you can get funding, you can get initial kind of investment in the company through different government initiatives. Then you have to get LUT, which is letter of understanding, because my company deals with companies in the US and UK also. So GST and all is not applicable. So for this, I had to go to LUT, which is provided by, stamped by the President of India. So these are a couple of documents which have to be done at the initial level. And then obviously, once you start the business, you have to file the GST every month. So you have to file GST 3TR and GST T1 every month, irrespective of the fact whether you're doing any business in that month or not. But those have to be filed with Government of India every month. You have to do minutes of meeting, recorded minutes of meeting every quarter. And then you have to do an annual meeting in which both the directors or the shareholders of the company are involved. So we are a small bootstrap company. We don't have shareholders with us, but both the directors have to be present for those meetings, and those minutes of the meetings are then scanned and uploaded in the Ministry of Corporate Affair website also. So this is all about private limited company. In the case of proprietorship, it's pretty much straightforward. I don't have to register my company name anywhere. I can start the business. I've heard from my CA that you can do a business of up to 2 crore rupees and pay the taxes as per the personal tax slabs. The only beauty of the proprietorship is government of India gives you a lot of relaxation in terms of the tax rebates. So as per 44 ADA, tax rule, 50% of the income is exempted from the tax in the case of uh, uh, proprietorship models. In case of people like me who are experts in field, I am PhD, I am doing consulting. So income coming from that proprietorship company is 50% exempted from tax. So that is a big advantage because in a job you land up giving 10, 20, 30% tax. Whereas in case of this proprietorship model, you land up saving 50% of the salary and pay tax on the rest of the 50% basically. So uh, the way I started was, I was head of a particular division with a publishing house. So the very first natural career progression for me as an entrepreneur was to look into those kind of business models also, because I knew people in the industry. I knew the purchase heads, the marketing managers, the product managers. So I had that strong base, which in your case probably most of you would be creating from scratch. Uh, but the very first thing which I would request you guys to do is to look inside and look into the capabilities, the expertise, the subject matter expertise, the relationships, the ecosystem around you, and then finalize and boil down to a particular business which you can understand, uh, which is easy for you in the long run, rather than burning your hands into different kind of new businesses, I would say. So I'm talking about a technical business, the way I'm running with life sciences or publishing industry. Uh, here's a question from Ansh. So as a beginner, is it okay to go for partnership firm so as to have check on the idea and later on go for private limited and other compliance? Absolutely. The only thing which I learned from the lecture was you need to have a trusted partner. So look out for a partner who gel with you, who is having a very symbiotic relationship with you. You may have counter expertise. He might be expert in production and logistics. You might be expert in sales and marketing. So you have a perfect marriage between the two. Like in my case, my wife was PhD in pharma sciences, so she knew what I was doing. She could support me with the day-to-day activities. And then after you set up your business, you are registered vendors with at least 3, 4 companies. You have got the revenue coming in. Your expenses become less than the income you are making. As soon as you start making profit, then you can think of starting up with a private limited company. Yes, absolutely. I mean, as I told you, my wife is director of the company, and I am the second director. And in between, I had to leave the company because of some compliance issues. So I incorporated my daughter, who is 22 now, as one of the directors. So yes, your family member can act as a partner. That's absolutely not a problem. Any further questions? So list of benefits that are with MSME is uh, the biggest advantage is if you're doing business with a corporate, each corporate has got their own credit days. So when I say credit days, say for example, I've supplied a material of 1 lakh rupees to a pharma company. Now, if I am a registered MSME, they are bound to pay me in 45 days. If I am not an MSME, they are not obliged and pay me. They may pay me in like 6 months. They may pay me in 90 days and all. So the money uh, is not being circulated on a regular basis. So if you are an MSME and you are getting registered as vendor, the companies will treat you more seriously because they are bound by rules of Government of India that they have to pay you the money as soon as you supply the material within 45 days. So that is the biggest advantage of an MSME. And on top of that, government launches different schemes in which if you are an MSME, if you are registered with DPIIT, if you are registered with Startup India, so you get a lot of support from Government of India. When I say support, it's not always about money. It's most of the time always about mentoring. So there are courses, there are materials, there are resources on these government websites which helps entrepreneurs like me for self-learning. So PF registration is mandatory for startup. I have registered my private limited company in 2021. So EPIC registration, as far as my understanding goes, I've got the EPIC registration done. I've got the EPIC number with me. Uh, the only thing is, my CA guided me that once you have more than 10 members or 10 people working in your company, you need not, file their provident fund and other details, basically. Anybody else? Yeah. So, and the most important thing when you're running a company is the GST registration, which is goods and service tax. So, as you might be aware about the fact that before the GST regimen came in 2017, the central government had excise and service tax, whereas the local state governments used to have value-added tax, which is VAT, which has now been replaced by GST. There's an elaborated chapter which we do in week 7, which is I think goods and service tax registration. So therein you'll learn different type of GST, so which is CGST, SGST, and IGST. So whenever you're doing the intrastate transactions, say for example, I live in Gurgaon, I buy something from Gurgaon only. So the seller and the buyer are sitting in the same state. So therein you have CGST, which is central GST, and the SGST, which is state GST components. So 50% of the tax goes to state government and 50% of the tax goes to the central government. Whereas if I'm doing a transaction, say for example, I am providing my input to a pharma company based in Mumbai, then IGST is applicable. So 50% of that goes to central government and 50% uh, to the end consumer, which is sitting in Mumbai. So these are certain things which really helped me because I was doing GST. I was not doing GST, but my CA was doing GST, but I was not aware about all these complexities, which kind of GST I should apply on my invoices and all. Uh, Dr. Saikat, any other aspect which is coming to your mind? Then, yeah, one thing I missed is the executive development programs. So that is something which is covered in week 4, the role of entrepreneurial development programs. So therein you have different entities run by government like Small Industrial Development Organization, SIDO, Management Development Institute, uh, National Institute of Entrepreneurial and Small Business Development, AISSIB, and several other institutes, wherein you get mentorship in terms of the learnings from uh, people in academia and industry. So these kind of executive development institutes, they act as a bridge between academia and corporates. So they do have their events. In fact, after doing the course, I was lucky to uh, join some, brunch or lunch kind of uh, programs wherein you actually interact with the the hardcore entrepreneurs and learn from their experiences. So those kind of institutes run by Government of India are very useful uh, for the budding entrepreneurs. Shrikant has asked me a question. We are trying to get clients to provide AL and ML solutions. Can you please help me with some best practices? So, luckily, uh, through my other venture, which is proprietorship, I act as a global consultant and advisor to four companies based in the US. So they are all about AI solutions for publishers and life sciences. Uh, I may not have the exact idea about the ethical best practices, uh, because I am on the sales end. I act as a door opener for them to make introductions in publishing and life sciences industry. So this is something which I can probably refer and go back to Dr. Saikat in future and guide you regarding the same.
Yeah, that is what you are right, sir. Because he asked a very good question. That they get clients to provide an AI and ML solutions. Now the question is, we need to understand as that what is the basic understanding of what an artificial intelligence is and what is a machine language is. Because we all are talking about artificial intelligence, but exactly this is what this we need to understand. That is now the world is going towards a no code solutions.
Yeah, in fact, I always go back to these companies and ask me that I want to learn AI and ML at this age also. Uh, so the developers and the subject matter experts for those subjects are totally different. Unfortunately, I haven't done mathematics after my 10th because I was very scared of doing that. And I feel that these kind of courses might involve bit of coding and other things. But on the solution end, since I work with these three, four companies, I can guide you that these companies have picked very specific problems which exist and have developed very easy kind of solutions. So the base of AI and ML is not purely automation. It's sometimes about giving a solution to a small problem, uh, which acts as a bottleneck for the other process, basically. So this is something which I have learned working with these companies. Suggest some sectors with more benefit and less tax. So pharmaceutical sector is one with which I am associated since last 20 years. And when you say less tax, you have to look into uh, different states also. Uh, I'll tell you three industries and three examples. So if I talk about pharma companies, you go to Himachal Pradesh and an area called Baddi, wherein government of Himachal Pradesh has gone given the tax exemption for next 10 years. So obviously, the people setting up industry in those areas are getting more benefits and paying less tax. Only thing in return they need is employment for the local people. So you're bound to give 50% of your seats to the local people. Second example is something called EPZ areas. So I have been in publishing industry for last 15 years. So EPZ is economic printing zones. So these are certain areas in which you'll find only printers. But these printers are doing job for multinational companies, and there is a tax exemption happening in these areas. Third example, which I can give you, is about the Global Capability Centers (GCCs). Uh, India is a hub for global capability centers, life sciences industry, automotive industry, all have set up um, GCCs in India, and Bangalore and Hyderabad are the hubs for these kind of setups, because the governments in these states are very proactive. So they have got uh, relaxation of tax of different aspects in these areas. So people setting up in industries in these areas are bound to make more benefits over next couple of years and pay less tax. So these are typically like three examples I know uh, working in these two, three sectors. Uh, any further queries?
Yes, sir. Now you can brief about how the exams, CBT-based exams of Swayam has been conducted, because we have shared the notification for the exam registrations. Now, what is the process and how this happens? So
Yeah.
you can relate that to the students.
So I do. I'm bit. I'm suffering from bit of OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder. So I make things very systematically. So this is something which I did with my assignments. So firstly, I think you have to complete all the assignments within a stipulated time. So every week you will have a deadline for submitting your assignment, and these marks which I got in the end are basically constituting, I think, 25% of my overall marks out of 100. And 75% of the marks are basically dependent on the examination which I actually give when I go in the center and appear for the examination. So this is my mark sheet. Internal assessment is 25%, followed by final examination, which is 75%. I think both carry equal value, unless and until you're not dedicatedly looking into the content every week and doing the assignments after that, you are going to miss out certain things, because in the rush hours, 11th hours, if you start preparing for this thing, you'll probably lose on the marks. You'll definitely get a certificate if you qualify more than I think 40-50%, Dr. Saikat, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So this is something, and I encourage the next batch probably to prepare notes, handwritten notes, because uh, that gives you a kind of a visual memory. So when you are doing MCQs in your examination, sometimes some things pop in your mind that I've written somewhere on the book, So those kind of things literally help you. And it's MCQs coming in the final exams. I think there is no negative marks. So go in and do all the questions. Don't leave anything blank. The way I do is, firstly, I go and solve all the questions for which I am 100% confident, then revisit the remaining ones, and thirdly, I do a revision once again. So this is how I basically appeared for the examination.
You have a questions, so you can answer, and then we can wind it up the session.
Yeah, we are exploring the scope of a product which can provide dental health status for the user B2C, like a teether or a digital brush, where a person directly checks the status. Well, I've been dealing with corporates. I would have probably done a B2B model with dental companies like Colgate, Dr. Reddy's, IPCA, because B2B is still an easier way to secure a sponsorship. If your idea is great, probably some company can come forward and sponsor that activity for dental doctors, which can help you in communicating your message to the end users, which are patients basically. And somebody asked for my basically the LinkedIn URL. So you can probably use this link and come and contact me anytime. We can chat, and we can probably interact. If I could be of any help to you, I would be more happy than uh, go and help you regarding the same. And Venki Naidu is writing that I am into pharma research. I find import and export of pharma products promising. Suggest some pros and cons. Again, you'll come across. Let me quickly refer to the notes. So, export and import of goods happens through Federation of Indian Export Organization. So that's what I learned from the lecture. Since I'm not dealing with exports and imports, I deal with services only. So these are products. I deal with services. So I might not be an expert in guiding you any further on this particular topic. Any further questions? Uh, Dr. Sagat, I
Fine.
think I've
Yeah.
covered most of it. I might have rushed through and
No.
summarized everything.
That is the most way to precisely, concisely putting the things in somebody's portfolio, so that uh, it's not that easy to start a business.
Yeah.
But the question is how to start. And if you have you a lot of people have the same dreams, they have their own support systems, still they are not able to start. And even they have a backup of a financial backups also, even they start and they they wind up the companies, or they lose their interest also. So now that what you have really said, that is age does not makes a difference. The most important thing is the passionate about the learning aptitude. And third, if you are having a good habit of a learning aptitude, will make your the preciseness of your intellectual support system or ecosystem will be more stronger. And it does not matter whether you're doing a course on a Swam or whether you're doing on any other platforms. The most important thing is there are a lot of platforms which supports that, but there are platforms which makes you to get you the click on that. You can read a lot of books, but the some books can click you on the event on an 11th on a fortnight, saying that has changed my life. So that is one of the courses we wanted to launch, and we wanted to reach to the students and want them to take this benefit. And thank you, Neeraj sir, Dr. Neeraj sir, for taking out your time and making us to understand that is journey is easy, but starting is difficult. But once the person is going, the person who takes this initiative, the starting initiative to be, the hardness has to be softened the moment they want to face that challenge. Let me
Yeah, you,
start this.
yeah, you rightly said, Dr. Saikat. I think um, ups and downs, hard times will definitely come in any entrepreneur journey. But these kind of structured courses, these kind of structured learnings probably helps you in a long way in tackling with those situations,
True.
in having understanding of not only the business but several other things related to the business, which could be compliance, which could be taxes, which could be running a business, which could be getting funding, which could be participating in startup events and other things. So this is basically a structured course which takes you through this whole journey in a very concise and a very um focused way, basically.
Yes. Thank you, Neeraj sir. Thank you so much, and thank you to all the participants who had a questions. And they're very sincere participants. Even they have taken out the times and they have put up that. And sorry that our SWAM portals have been down, so that we could not reach out to the mass uh, audience or the participants, aspirants. But still, we had a nice crowd, a matured crowd. That is better than having a matured crowd rather than having a big crowd. So thank you, Dr. Neeraj sir. We'll be in touch, and I hope some of the participants should be in touch with you. So that we could not reach out to the mass.
Same here, sir. It's a great honor to be part of this event, basically, and I look forward getting feedback and getting connected with the students of batch three, uh, and enjoy my entrepreneur journey working with any of these.
Th- Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Have a nice day, everybody. Have a nice